The world is holding its breath as Israel and Iran teeter on the edge of war. Reports suggest Israel may strike Iran's nuclear facilities, even without U.S. support. Iran has threatened massive retaliation, putting U.S. bases and the entire region on alert. For many Indians, this may seem distant, but it's not. India relies on the Middle East for over 80% of its crude oil, and millions of Indians live and work there. We have deep ties with both Israel and Iran. Israel is a defense and tech partner. Iran is our gateway to Central Asia. A war would force India into a tough spot, with every choice carrying consequences. The International Atomic Energy Agency has criticized Iran's nuclear program, and diplomatic talks have failed. The U.S. is evacuating staff. The drums of war are beating louder. For India, the stakes are high. Our economy, our people, and our global standing are all at risk. This isn't just geopolitics. It's about your daily commute, your family's safety, and the price of vegetables. Even our flights to Europe and America could be affected. In the next sections, we'll break down how this conflict could hit your wallet, your family, and our foreign policy. We'll look at the challenges ahead and how India is preparing. This is a story every Indian needs to know. For thousands of Indian families, the first impact of war is fear for loved ones abroad. Thousands of Indians live and work in Israel, from caregivers to IT professionals. If conflict erupts, they'll be on the front lines. The Indian government has issued advisories and is preparing for possible evacuation. Think Operation Ganga, but in the Middle East. Airlines are on alert. Airspace closures could disrupt flights to Europe and North America, raising costs and chaos for travelers. The entire Gulf region, home to millions of Indians, could be at risk if U.S. bases are targeted. Families across India would anxiously await news from relatives. The psychological toll is immense, turning a foreign crisis into a personal one for countless households. Evacuation isn't just about planes. It's about coordination, communication, and diplomacy. Embassies and consulates would become lifelines. The government has managed such crises before, but a conflict of this scale is a unique challenge. The safety of every Indian abroad will be the top priority. The nation will be watching and hoping for their safe return. The most direct impact for Indians will be at the petrol pump. India imports over 80% of its crude oil, much of it from or through the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital oil choke point. If disrupted, global oil prices will soar. Iran has threatened to close it before. In war, it's a real risk. Higher oil prices mean higher petrol and diesel costs, potentially 10–15 rupees more per liter. This triggers a chain reaction. Transport costs rise, so do prices for vegetables and goods. Factories pay more for energy, pushing up prices everywhere. Inflation squeezes your budget. The stock market could tumble, investors may flee to gold, and the rupee could weaken. A weaker rupee makes all imports costlier, not just oil. The government faces a higher import bill and less money for essentials like healthcare and education. In short, a Middle East war threatens India's economic stability. Every Indian will feel the pinch, from the petrol pump to the grocery store. The ripple effects could last long after the conflict ends. This is why the crisis matters to you. For Indian diplomats, an Israel-Iran war is a nightmare scenario. India has strong ties with both. Israel is a key defense and tech partner. Iran is vital for energy and the Chabahar port. A war forces India to balance between two friends. Choosing sides could jeopardize critical interests. India's tradition is strategic autonomy and non-alignment. Neutrality is the likely stance. At the UN, India will call for restraint and protection of civilians while working behind the scenes for peace. But neutrality isn't easy. Both sides and their allies will pressure India to pick a side. Every statement and vote will be scrutinized. Maintaining balance will require immense diplomatic skill. The government must explain its position to the world and to Indians at home. This is a test of India's foreign policy independence. Can India protect its interests and still be a voice for peace? The world and the nation will be watching. The stakes couldn't be higher. The impact of war goes beyond oil and diplomacy. It hits defense, trade, and even cyberspace. India relies on Israeli military tech, from drones to missile systems. War could disrupt these supplies, slowing our military modernization. This crisis could push India to accelerate its own defense manufacturing. Atmanirbhar Bharat in action. The Navy may boost its presence in the Gulf to protect shipping. Trade routes would be threatened. Attacks on ships could disrupt supply chains, causing shortages and price hikes. The Chabahar port project in Iran could stall, undermining years of investment. In cyberspace, both Israel and Iran are cyber powers. A digital war could spill over, threatening Indian networks. Cyber attacks could hit banking, power grids, or government sites. Indian cybersecurity agencies are on high alert. In today's world, a digital attack in the Middle East can easily reach India. The risks are real, and the fallout could be felt everywhere. India must be ready on all fronts. The threat of war is now a hot topic in Indian homes, offices, and online. People worry about petrol prices. Get ready to pay 120 rupees a liter, one tweet warns. The economic impact is immediate and personal. There's deep concern for Indians abroad. Many have friends or family in the Gulf or Israel. Social media is filled with embassy contacts, updates, and prayers for safety. The debate over India's stance is intense. Some back Israel, others stress ties with Iran, and many call for strict neutrality. These debates reflect the tough choices facing the government. Businesses are anxious. Exporters fear shipping disruptions. The travel industry braces for flight chaos. And IT firms worry about staff safety. Small businesses dread rising import costs. The uncertainty is bad for business and planning. From boardrooms to Kirana stores, the conflict casts a long shadow. The nation is united in concern, divided in opinion. Everyone is watching and waiting. The Indian government is moving fast behind the scenes. Embassies in Tel Aviv and across the Middle East are on high alert, updating citizen databases and preparing for possible evacuations. Plans are in place for safe routes, special flights, and rapid response, drawing on lessons from past operations. Air India and other carriers are on standby. On the economic front, the government is monitoring oil markets and securing alternative suppliers. Strategic petroleum reserves are ready to cushion short-term shocks. The Finance Ministry and RBI are preparing to manage inflation and stabilize the rupee. Diplomatically, India is talking to all sides: Israel, Iran, the US, and Arab nations, urging de-escalation. The Navy is maintaining a strong presence in the Arabian Sea to protect trade. The message: India is prepared to protect its people and interests. No Indian will be left behind. An international crisis quickly becomes a domestic political test in India. The government will highlight its leadership and evacuation efforts, while the opposition will demand accountability and question policies. Rising fuel prices or evacuation delays could spark protests and criticism. The crisis will dominate headlines and TV debates, shaping public opinion. The government must manage not just the crisis, but also the perception of its response. Success could boost popularity. Missteps could cause political damage. The crisis also sparks deeper questions. Are we too dependent on imported oil? Should we invest more in renewables and defense manufacturing? The debate may move from blame to building a more resilient India. The war acts as a mirror, exposing vulnerabilities and prompting national reflection. How we respond will shape India's future. In uncertain times, knowledge and preparation are your best defense. Stay informed, choose reliable news, avoid rumors, and follow official government updates. If you have family in the region, urge them to register with the embassy and keep documents ready. Communication may be disrupted. Patience and trust in evacuation efforts are key. At home, be financially prudent. Review your budget, save on fuel, and avoid panic buying. Postpone big purchases until the situation stabilizes. India has weathered many storms before. We are resilient and resourceful. Support each other, stay calm, and trust in our collective strength. Hope for peace, but be prepared for challenges. By staying informed and united, we can face whatever comes. Together, we will overcome.